Hello, and welcome to Darts the John Lowe way. What does make a darts champion? Well, today, over the next hour and a half, we are hoping to answer some of the questions that everybody, at some time or another, who plays darts and watches darts, would like to ask. To have a success in any sport, obviously, is a magnificent achievement. What we have for you today is a person who has won over 1,000 titles, including 5 World Cup gold medals, and every single major championship success has come this young man's way. Probably the highest accolade of all is the fact that he has been made the captain of his country. I of course refer to John Lowe.
Hi Phil.
Hello John. Hello.
Hello there. Hello everybody. Welcome to what I hope will be a good hour and a half of not expert tuition, but as near as we can get, through a lot of careful hours practice, many thousands of hours. Some that it's not hard, sure, seems to be, but not always is. Today we try and give a little insight into the game to the people that would like to know a little bit more, the ones that can go into a pub or a youth club or whatever, throw the 3 darts, score 100 and say, great, I've made it. In actual fact, when he comes to play his match, he shakes like a leaf, his legs go, he gets nervous and he can't actually perform the game at all. There's a lot of people play darts, as we know, worldwide. Some that are very fit and healthy, some that are not. You know, all you need, I say, is one good arm, one good eye, a good pair of legs to stand on, and you're away. And a set of darts, obviously. But there's a lot of people who've not even got them qualifications, and we should sort of give them a mention as well, that they perform quite well in their own sort of game, some in wheelchairs, some that do the Paraplegic Olympics and things like that, who also enjoy this game. So it's not just for the man who's, you know, 100% fit.
Although we're going to be concentrating very much on improvement and success today, of course we mustn't forget the enjoyment of the game. That is a very fundamental ingredient of any sport.
Of course it is. As I say, you don't have to be 50 to enjoy it. You can be 6-year-old and still enjoy it. Remember, if you are 6-year-old, that darts is a very dangerous sport. Should always be played under supervision of an adult. They're very sharp, a set of darts like these I've got here. And if a youngster is allowed to throw them around, the dog, the cat, anyone can get injured. So it's not just for the middle age, as you say. Enjoyment can be from 6-year-old up to 90. Anyone can enjoy it, and you don't have to be a winner. That's the big thing about it. You don't have to be a winner.
Sometimes it's just as important to know how to lose as how to win.
It is, but there's a lot of people that never want to be a champion. They never want to be a pub champion, a youth club champion, or a world champion. They just want to go out there, spend a couple of hours just throwing darts, but they'd like to put them in the right place. They'd like to score a treble 20.
Well, that's what we're going to be here today, Lord. See if we can help them go in the right place. But we're going to have to start off somewhere. And you're going to be teaching me as much as the people out there, don't forget, John. We're going to have to start off somewhere, and of course that is actually the place where they put the darts. And of course, we've got a ball down here now, John.
Well, here we are, Phil. We have a standard clock board, the one that you can buy mostly in any sports shop, anywhere in the country. It comes complete with this little bracket here, which is very important. That is to hold the board on the wall. I mean, obvious. But make sure that when you do fasten it to the wall that it's securely fixed if your dad's doing it, or the youth club leader, or your competition secretary. These, if they fall on your toe,
I can imagine.
Believe me, they're going to break a few bones in there. But let's explain the board. This is a clock board with doubles. There's this ring here, trebles or triples if you're American. This is the bull, centre bull, American again, a cork. And that's a semi-bull with 25. We'll explain the scoring of the boards later, but there are many other types of boards, or ones in Yorkshire, for instance, that don't have this ring, just doubles. And they get rid of that ring as well because there's no double bull.
Do they play the conventional darts game on there, John?
They do, yes, but they don't. You obviously can only score, the top score is double 20. And then in Manchester they use a smaller board which is 12 inches across, made of elm, which is a log end, appropriately, off the tree, is a log end board which they have to soak to keep its moisture so the darts stick in. I think in London as well they still use the elm board, which is exactly a clock board without the colours.
But made of a different material?
Yes, made of wood, elm or I think they use another substitute as well. So right, we've got the board. In the back of the board, the screw fits in the old provider. That is the centre. All we do is we just, when that's fixed, put it up on the wall. That was a good shot, wasn't it?
And that comes, John, as a complete package.
That's right. You buy it exactly as it is. Whatever make of board is entirely up to either the stockist that you're buying it from or what you prefer yourself. We've got a tyre because we're doing this professionally today, so we put this round the outside to make it look better. It's more pleasant to the eye, stops the sharp edge. If you're doing it at home, then they're still good to have because it saves you wallpapering.
Yeah. So it's not purely cosmetic. It has got some function, I should imagine.
It has. On TV when we play, it's obviously a big part of the game because it blends in, makes the set look professional. At home, it's still got a very big part to play if you want to put the board straight on the wall without a cabinet to put it in. It saves us, say, holes everywhere and having to replaster.
Now, you're talking about a lot of people I do know have boards at home. Are there any do's and don'ts as far as about putting a board up in home?
There are. First of all, we must say that from the centre of that bull to the floor has got to be exactly 5 feet 8. Exactly. Don't put it an 1/8 high or an 1/8 low because the thickness of that wire is almost an 1/8. And that can be the difference between, if you're throwing at treble 20, it can be the difference between a big score and 40 points less of 20. So make sure if someone's doing it for you, if you're a youngster or whatever, that the board's put right, exactly at the right height. Now secondly, yes, don't go and fix it on the back of a door. If someone opens the door and you're throwing a dart, he's going to look a bit silly with one stuck in his...
Indeed.
And it's very dangerous again. So fix it on a wall, a solid wall somewhere, where you've also got plenty of room to throw. And
wire away, of course, from anyone who's got any access to walk through, and anywhere like that, because obviously darts hitting wires, they do come out.
That's right.
Quite dangerous.
They do. They bounce out of the board. Also remember that you want it in a place where you don't want to keep putting it up, taking it down, putting it up. You want to be able to put it up there, make it a nice piece of furniture. Buy a nice cabinet. Put it in a cabinet with doors on that you can fasten when you're not using it.
Exactly.
You can put it over the dining room table, providing you make it look right, you know.
But at all times, the centre of the bullseye, this is the important part about hanging a board, centre of the bullseye must be 5 feet 8 inches?
It must be exactly 5 feet 8. The bracket we saw on the back when you're fixing, if you make it to the hole in the centre of the bracket 5 feet 8, that will put the board exactly where it should be.
Right.
We must relate that in certain parts of the country, Manchester for instance, the ladies play off 5 feet 6. There's a ladies' league 2 inches lower. We're not saying they're wrong. What we're illustrating today is that is the international throw.
That's the standard norm.
It's the standard, the international standard normal throw now that we use for all major competitions. If you're going to be a champion, practice at the right throw, at the right height.
Just a point, John, while the board is now in position, you've got your board in position, obviously I think everyone would know that the 20 segment must be at the top. I notice we've got a multicoloured board here, but basically the segments are divided into, on this particular occasion, black and beige. Is there any rule governing what colour should be at the top? There
is, yes. There's a rule that the red treble must always be in treble 20. Must always be there. Now don't ask me why, it's just that's been a set rule what's always gone on, always said. I think it's the manufacturers who decided if they use all the colours the board will last longer. So they decided to use every other one so it wears out in half the time. I'm sure that's the reason. You can get some boards where the bull is black. So there's no reason why. I mean, it always used to be called a black bull, never a red bull. Again, I don't know. Red usually refers to a bull. It's one of the questions that's not too important. We don't really need to